Hey, everybody. Today, I want to continue talking about your customer hero and why they're so important and why you having a detailed, rich, robust, thought-filled persona is the key to you actually kind of breaking through, kind of shattering the doors of what's holding you back to further success. So here's what's super interesting. What's really hilarious, I was actually just on a call with someone who was like, people should call you Doctor Who because I'm obsessed with who you're actually serving, which is your hero. So here's the interesting thing. You have probably, and if you haven't, you should actually read it, heard of this like awesome book called Start With Why. So Simon Sinek wrote this. He came up with the idea of, he actually didn't come up with it. He sort of recognized the idea of the golden circle, which is that if you start with why before you talk about the how or the what, you're going to have a lot more purpose. And when you speak with purpose, your customers or prospects find you more believable. They trust you. Right? So he's got so this is the golden circle. He says, start with why, and then you'll have clarity on the how and the what. Okay. So I am going to be controversial, maybe not so much controversial, but I'm going to tell you there's something actually before the why, and that is the who. So I want you to think about changing your golden circle and starting with who. And let me sort of tell you why that's so important. So the big reason you want to start with who is because if you start with your who is your hero, you're going to have answers about your why and your how and your what and even your where. Where do you find them? The reason a lot of people have trouble with when it's like start with why. Why do I exist? Why are we here? And they have weak, sort of diluted answers that don't make any difference in their marketing, don't make any difference in their operations or how they do business, is because the reason they didn't have a powerful why is because they didn't have a clear who. So a couple of things. So yeah, if you're having trouble coming up with your powerful why, it's because you didn't start with who. That's my point number one that I want you to remember today. But the next thing is I want you to remember that your who is your hero, right? There's two things, right? You're trying to serve them better always. Your job is to serve your hero in a way that makes them better, right? And if you do that and they recognize that working with you is going to make them better at whatever it is that they're trying to do, they're going to say, yes, you are the one that I choose to kind of work with, right? So there's an interesting thing that I want you to get, which is this dynamic of if the customer is the hero or the client is the hero, the prospect, however you want to think about it, if they're the hero, who are you? You are the guru. And before you get your head filled up with like, ooh, I'm a guru, I want you to understand what a guru really is. What a guru really is in many contexts, it's a spiritual advisor. It's someone who has wisdom. They're a sage. They have this deep level of skill and expertise at a particular thing. They're also efficient. They can get you there. The reason you go to a guru, right, is because this is a person who has had years and years, decades and decades of experience transforming people and helping people sort of cross a bridge, cross a threshold to what they were, to what they're going to become. That's your actual job as a brand or a product or a service. You're there to serve the hero of the story and take them across the threshold to their better self. That's the whole idea. So remember, you're the hero. I'm sorry, your client or your prospect is the hero. You're the guru, the humble guru. What you don't want to be is the guru like, ooh, I'm the guru. That's not the point. It's not about you. It's not about you, your product or service. The guru is a humble guru who is in service to the hero. Okay. So that's another reason, like when you get that super clear and you start with who is your hero, it's going to tell you your why. What is it that you're in service to? What is the threshold that you're taking them across? How are you going to take them across that threshold? What is going to be the mechanism that you take them through that threshold, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And then the final thing that I want you to be thinking about is the other amazing thing about getting really detailed about your who is it turns a bunch of questions that you have into answers, right? When you start out, a lot of the people that I've dealt with, I've got a client right now who, working with her, she understands sort of the what of what she needs to do, but she doesn't understand the how she needs to do it. And, what we're kind of getting through is because she doesn't understand the why or the who she's doing it for, right? And so the thing that we're doing is let's go deep, super deep on this customer persona. When you go through the customer persona, you're not only figuring out like the top level stuff of what you need to know, but you're also figuring out like, what is that journey that the hero's on, right? What is their current state and what are they trying to get to? What is the threshold that they're trying to cross? If you can understand what the threshold is that they're trying to cross, you're going to understand their actual needs, and not only their external needs, but their internal needs as well. They're kind of their needs that help them actualize into the person that they really want to be. And this may sound kind of very lofty and hocus pocus, but I don't care what it is. There is always a need there that takes the person, the hero, to their better self. Every prospect that you have is trying to buy a better version of themselves through whatever it is that you're selling. And when you start to understand that, you're going to be able to speak to their better self. You're going to give them that vision of what they really were looking for. And then they're going to want to come to you because you're going to say, listen, I have the ability to take you across that bridge, to take you across that threshold. You're going to know what it is that you need to do. And all of this actually happens in the customer persona. The other thing that happens actually is when you do that, there's another aspect of it where you start to go really deep on what are the blogs that they read that nobody else reads? What are the books that they read that nobody else reads? Who do they follow that nobody else follows? Getting to that top level stuff is easy. And it's in virtually everything that you see out there. If you Google, customer persona or avatar or whatever it is that you're going to Google, you're going to get a lot of very top level stuff. The one that we've put together that's taken us years really gets deep in terms of like, no, really be specific. What are all these things? And I guarantee you, if you get through all of that stuff, it turns all of those questions you had into answers. When you have answers, you can get into action. And that's the whole name of the game, right? You're trying to get into action so you can kind of attract those heroes that you're going to be able to serve. So that's what I have for you. It goes a bunch deeper, but what you're going to want is this persona template. So I'm going to give it to you. It's absolutely free. Just go to personatemplate.com, download it, start to fill it out how you think that you should fill it out right now. But over the next couple of recordings that I do here, what I'm going to actually do is dive into the persona template specifically and kind of walk you through the things that you should be thinking about as you fill each section. It's a couple pages long. It's deeper than your average persona template, and it's deeper than what you're going to be able to just sit down and jot down in 10 minutes. And that's on purpose. If you're going to get this right, you need to put the work in. And this is the one tool of all of the tools that we use. This is the one tool that you're going to want to have with you forever. As long as you're in business, this is the thing that's going to help you get an immense amount of clarity about who you're serving. And it's also going to shift for you how you think about your business, because once you start getting into that hero mindset, into like, I am serving the hero, you're going to do things differently in every aspect of your business. So I'm excited about this for you. Join me again next time, and I'm going to dive deep into the actual persona template. But in the meantime, go download it. It is at personatemplate.com. I'll see you next time.